Representative Fleming?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Commissioner, Deputy Commissioner, appreciate some of your comments. I would like to just ask a couple questions about your comments, but going back in history, I believe the General Assembly allocated maybe $5 million ish that was allocated for allocating for retention and pay. Whatever happened to that money?
I believe that was in 2017 budget. I'm not exactly sure which budget year that was, but the salary went to that funding went to increasing salaries of our frontline social workers and supervisors.
100%?
Yes.
Okay. I hear contrary to that, but that's okay. In 2019, there is a WAVE did a segment on the caseload that was skyrocketing in Jefferson County to I guess basically through the roof. So some of the policies and the allocation that was sent to you all in 2017, 2018, it appeared that I sort of questioned if what y'all implemented worked, given that report that was on WAVE back in 2019. Could you comment on that?
I'm sorry. So the report that we provided to on WAVE 13 in 2019, as far as what we're doing.
WAVE TV did a segment
Yes.
on the department and how the caseloads were through the roof. And part of that was prior to that was some money that was allocated to help retain and increase pay. But to me, some of the strategies that y'all implied or applied to it may not have worked. Could you explain that?
Well, one of the strategies that has been very successful from that period of time was partnering with some of our partner agencies to supplement the workforce in Jefferson. We partnered with KVC to help with completion of our referrals, particularly our past due referrals. And that contract has continued, and we are looking at ways to expand that relationship with them now to address some of the imminent staffing needs in Jefferson, as well as we also contracted with another of our partners to help support some of our foster parent recruitment training and home study writing. And we're looking at ways to expand that contract also to better support our staff in Jefferson.
Okay, well,
and not just Jefferson, but throughout the state.
And I know it happens throughout the state, but I guess I'm really focused on Jefferson, and I appreciate you're looking at that. But looking at one thing and doing another are two different things. And you've got a contract involved, and I'm not too sure why that hasn't been implemented, because when I asked a question to y'all's department a couple of weeks ago under Health and Family Services, I got a response back to around 37 caseloads per worker. And that, is above the statutory requirement of 24. In fact, it's even higher than the national average. And when I go through the calculations on a report that I received based on what y'all have, I've got around 68 cases per workload based on 2,886 cases. And that includes supervisors. And supervisors, my understanding, should be supervising, directing, and assisting, but not actually doing the casework. So if you take those folks out, now you're looking at 85 cases per workload, per person. And that's rather discouraging in terms of finding that. So why haven't you implemented that contract now instead of telling me that you're looking at it?
We have implemented that contract. It's still ongoing.
Excuse me, but why? And I'm sorry, I'm being a little cut you off. But why is the caseload increase if you're implementing that contract and you're supposedly getting better results? But reports I'm looking at is not the case.
From 2019 to where we are today, there is a significant decrease in caseloads. In 2019, during that report with Wave 13, we were reporting some caseloads as high for workers in Jefferson as 60 and 80. The average now is still way too high at 47, but we have made progress, and actually we were even as of earlier this year, those caseloads were in the 30s. It's as our turnover has begun to increase that we've seen the caseloads increase not only in Jefferson but across the state. And we have continued to contract with KBC and other partners, and we are been in conversations with them about increasing their capacity to provide assistance. And so that's not something that was new. It is something that's ongoing, and we are looking at, again, expanding that contract to continue to support more in different ways than what they have been up until now.
One more follow-up question, Madam Chair.
Sure.
I appreciate the comments, but this is, as you said, this is an ongoing problem. And I feel like Bill Murray in the Groundhog Day, I keep waking up and seeing the same old problem without finding a solution. And I'm getting rather concerned that there are children out there that aren't being taken care of, and they could be in a dangerous situation, if not a fatal situation, and not taking care of that and researching that and helping out and so forth. So, I'd like to see a little more better results in terms of what's going on with that. And I'll be quite honest with you. This is my personal opinion that if there's not any action that's going to be taken in terms of reducing this to more of a manageable level, and I'll say like 24, 20, something like that, then I'll be looking at drafting some legislation to basically go through it with the chairwoman mentioned about reorg, or trying to find some language to get that down, because there was a contract that was done some time ago to look at backroom operations, to work with the private sector, particularly when it comes to nonprofits, to help support that, so your caseworkers can actually do the work and not be burdened with all the paperwork, the backload situation. So you can actually do those things. So that's one thing I'm going to start looking at if we don't find some results in the next couple of months, because I think y'all said it before, we need to act now. And if what I can see in terms of when you come to the budget, come to the budget committee, I'm going to be looking for what y'all going to be doing with that. And I can tell you that I will put some stick to the language that if it's not performed in terms of having results in a certain time period, then your funding is going to be reduced or impaired in order to reallocate those to actually serving what we think needs to be done. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you.